Good evening and welcome to a new channel on the world's philosophy and current issue. I am Xing Shen and I will be one of your hosts for today. Joining me will be Liu Yutong, Tan Hui Xing, Samuel and Tan Qianyu. Today, we will delve into a critical issue that continues to permeate society's worldview, which is gender inequality. Gender inequality shapes one's life even before they are born into the world. Harmful social and gender norms often restrict girls' health, education, and also their future. However, these norms can also be harmful to boys, especially on their mental health and also their future developments. This inequality will continue and exacerbate in adulthood, when both genders will continue to face different discrimination. When it comes to domestic responsibility, studies show that girls are more likely to shoulder the burden of household chores and caregiving duties than boys. This inequity not only affects their education and opportunities, but also perpetuates traditional gender roles that limit their potential. Furthermore, almost 1 in 3 women and girls worldwide will experience physical or sexual violence in their lifetime. This majority of these victims are women and girls, constituting 97% of those facing sexual violence. While for child marriage, an estimated 640 million girls alive today were married before the age of 18, while an estimated 150 million boys were married before 18, robbing them of their childhood and forcing them into roles they are not prepared for. Besides that, according to global statistics, only around 39% of girls from rural areas attend secondary school when compared to rural boys, which consists of 45%. In some cultures, societies may prioritize boys' education over girls, limiting the investment in girls' education and directing all resources and opportunity toward male students. Speaking from economic terms, women are more likely to face discrimination than men in the labor market, especially when it comes to the gender pay gap. In accordance with the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the gender wage gap was 11.9% on average in the year 2021. This means that, on average, a woman working on a full-time basis will only make 88 cents for every dollar or euro a full-time working man makes at median earning. This will be all for the introduction on gender inequality. Now I will be passing the time to our next reporter and she will share about the methodology used for our research.
Thank you, Yingshuan. Good evening to all viewers. My name is Hazel. Our research team has chosen the Google survey form as our main tool, as it can obtain results more quickly and directly from a large number of respondents and help in analyzing the results more systematically. We would like to explore the perspectives of the community on how gender inequality is caused by gender discrimination and sexism. The Google survey form consists of 15 survey questions. However, only some significant questions will be discussed in today's report. The identity of each respondent will remain anonymous to protect their privacy and to collect more information from the public. So, among the 61 responses we had received, females made up a vast majority amounting to 75.4%. The results showed a strong representation of 83.6% of young adults aged between 20 to 29 years. The survey results indicate a spectrum of opinions regarding the significance of gender inequality in the present era. Among the 22 respondents are neutral, which stand 36.1% in this statement. Furthermore, past experiences of gender inequality were asked from the respondents. A majority, comprising 54.1% of respondents, affirmed that they have indeed experienced instances of gender inequality and provided various examples. Additionally, from this diagram, it shows that a significant majority of 20 individuals agree that women are more vulnerable to this form of abuse. This survey had successfully indicated the various root causes of gender inequality in modern society. Socialization and stereotyping highlight the highest percentage of 78.7%. Apart from that, a majority, 59% of respondents had reported having noticed gender inequality among men. However, due to time constraints, we will stop here. For more detailed statistics, please visit our website and click on the provided link. Now, I will pass the time to our next reporter who will continue that discussion.
Thank you, Hazel. My name is Samuel Wong. Our research team had analyzed the survey results with the perspective of Falsafah by using logical thinking, the views of psychology, sociology, ideology, and philosophy of Sejahtera. Now let us start with logical thinking. Logic is a system that distinguishes good and bad reasoning by examining normative criteria for valid conclusions and demonstrations. It focuses on logical consequence and logical truth and can be interfered without premises in normal situations. According to our survey, most of the people, 78.7%, think that socialization and stereotyping is the main cause of gender inequality, along with cultural and religious belief. The two interconnected reasons, including cultural beliefs that women are weaker than men. The survey shows that 1.6% of respondents believe gender inequality stems from one gender's dominance, despite this being a flawed reasoning due to lack of a logical sense, which can be considered as a bad reasoning due to lack of logical sense. Next, we'll be looking deeply into the views of psychology. Psychology plays a pivotal role in this endeavor by catering to the individual's mind and understanding how they express themselves through personality and behavior. First and foremost, as stated by Tashfer and Turner, social identity theory emphasizes the importance of social awareness and consciousness of societal norms and injustice, with the responses varying based on personal experience. Furthermore, social learning theory emphasizes the impact of social learning and observational learning on shaping individuals' perceptions and behavior. Additionally, intersectionality theory highlights the complex interplay of various societal factors, such as gender, race, socioeconomic status, and cultural beliefs, in shaping experience of inequality, which is stated by Crenshaw in 1989. From a psychological standpoint, this highlights the importance of recognizing and addressing the intersecting forms of discrimination and privilege experienced by individuals of different gender. Now, I'll be passing the time to our next reporter, Ruby, to discuss the point of view from sociology and ideology.
Good evening, viewers. I'm Tan Chenji. Now we will be looking into the perspective of sociology. Socialization is the process of installing societal norms, beliefs, and attitudes, which plays a crucial role in shaping the gender roles in children. One of the socializations that could be seen in our survey is structural functionalism, a significant perspective in 20th century sociological studies, particularly emphasizing the family. Gender roles were established before industrialization, with women primarily responsible for domestic tasks and men engaged in outdoor activities. In contrast, conflict theory posits that society is characterized by a struggle of dominance among social groups such as men and women over limited resources. This perspective highlights the oppression and exploitation of subordinate groups by dominant ones, which was explained by Farrington and Chatham in 1993. While the feminist theory, which is a form of conflict theory, examines gender roles and inequality through the lens of a conflict approach. Radical feminism explores how the family perpetuates male supremacy and emphasizing the dereliction of women's contributions in patriarchal societies. Symbolic interactionism explores the role of symbols in understanding behavior, particularly in the debate about femininity and masculinity. Now we will be looking from the perspective of ideology on the idea of gender inequality. Our team will be looking into two different points of views of ideology, which are modernism and postmodernism. The ideology in modernism influenced by the Enlightenment ideas of reason promoted gender equality and advocated for equality in education, employment, and political participations for men and women during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. It represented a transformation towards gender roles, and modernist movements frequently endorsed legal and political reforms aimed at ensuring women's rights. The modernist ideology had challenged traditional gender roles and stereotypes by promoting the notion and both men and women could fulfill a wide range of roles and responsibilities. Now I will be passing the remaining time to our last reporter, Hui Xin, who will be discussing postmodernism, the philosophy of Sagatara, and also concluding our whole research and findings on our gender inequality.
Good evening, viewers. I am Tang Hui, one of the reporters tonight. To continue, postmodernism emphasized the role of power dynamics in shaping gender relations, focusing on how patriarchy and heteronormativity contribute to unequal power distributions. It also acknowledged intersectionality, where social categories like race, class, and gender intersect, emphasizing the importance of considering different forms of oppression in achieving gender equality, which was a research done by Descartes. It could be seen that postmodernism recognizes individuality and diversity in identities and gender expressions. It rejects the notion of a single normative model of masculinity or femininity in favor of accepting and affirming diverse gender identities and experience. While in terms of gender equality, relativism implies that understandings of gender roles, norms, and equality may differ across cultural, social, and historical contexts. Relativism recognizes and embraces the diversity of cultural beliefs, practice, and norms regarding gender roles and relationships. It emphasized how crucial it is to approach conversations about gender equality with humility and cultural sensitivity, acknowledging the limitation of one's cultural perspective. While for the philosophy for Sejahtera, it is the very core of the Sejahtera concept as understood by the early society modeled the concept of statehood in the Malay Peninsula as stated by Breda in 1980. The context of Sejahtera means welfare or prosperity in English, and Sejahtera philosophy aims to lead the community towards well-being that is balanced. The idea of balance in terms of worldly success as well as spiritual and emotional well-being is fundamental to Sejahtera. It emphasized inclusivity and equality, understanding that true prosperity can only be attained when all members of society, male or female, are granted the same chances and privilege as mentioned by Bill in 2016. To summarize our team's finding and discussion, our team's exploration in the multifaceted issue of gender inequality has revealed a complex perspective from logical thinking, psychology, sociology, and ideology. In conclusion, as we shed light on the gender inequality faced by girls, it is crucial to acknowledge that boys also encounter similar challenges, albeit to a lesser extent. However, true equality means eradicating discrimination based on gender entirely. It is about creating a world where every individual, regardless of gender, can thrive without fear of prejudice or injustice. As we confront the realities of gender discrimination, it is imperative that we stand together as advocates for change. Only through collective effort and unwavering commitment can we build a future where every individual, regardless of gender, can thrive and fulfill their potential. That will be all from our news today. Thank you.